Tonight, Port Pirie's new abattoir owners come up for talks, and Port Lincoln Council votes for deregulated shopping hours. Good evening, I'm Selga Berzins and thanks for joining me. Also in tonight's bulletin, despite a revision on bus routes, some students could still be stranded and traders take to the golf course. But first tonight, the new owners of Port Pirie's abattoir arrived in the city today, but refused to say if the site will reopen. Hdd Pastoral held talks with Council and the Southern Flinders Ranges Development Board for more than 2 hours and say they're exploring all options.
I think the obvious is that it can possibly stay closed, which would obviously be the least popular option, but also there's a possibility of it operating as a meatworks, and to do that would require significant investment.
Hdd says more than $10 million needs to be invested if the abattoir is to meet global demands. It will need to be completely restructured for any production to recommence. More than 80 full-time workers are now jobless following the sale of the plant, but Hdd Pastoral has agreed to assist them in finding work at its Murray Bridge and Lobethal operations. Already 6 former employees have found work, but not in the meat industry. Tomorrow night we'll speak in more detail with the Development Board on the abattoir issue. Port Lincoln's council voted unanimously for the deregulation of the city's shopping hours, but Mayor Peter Davis is against the decision, saying an extension of shopping hours would have been a better option.
After much discussion last night, Council decided to abolish the regulation of shopping hours, the decision representing the views of the community in the recent shopping survey.
There's no doubt the overwhelming majority of the general public want deregulated hours. Okay, that's democracy.
But the Mayor does not agree, saying that small traders cannot compete with the multinationals. He says extended shopping hours would have been a good compromise.
I would have preferred to have seen extended hours so that some protection would be afforded smaller retailers.
The Chamber of Commerce says most of those small retailers are ready for it.
A lot of those that are I guess would be threatened by the 7-day-week training of the bigger organisations have been very proactive, put their best foot forward and are now training very, very successfully. And
he says the changes will bring opportunities for small businesses.
It's the whole relationship marketing type thing, so I think that's where the small businesses got the advantage. They know their stuff. They know their product. It's the personalised service that the larger organisations, I don't think, can ever bring to the town.
But the final decision is up to the Industrial Relations Minister, Michael Wright. Alexandra Fremantle, Southern Cross News.
Continuous drizzle in Broken Hills meant the best rainfall this year, but it's not all good news. Tourists have been bearing the brunt of the wet weather, many left stranded in nearby towns due to road closures.
Continuous raining since Thursdays meant more than 45 millimetres of rain in the Silver City. And while it may have come at good timing for some,
people don't have to water their gardens and also the graziers because they're getting probably a bit of water in their dams.
For travellers, it's meant being stranded in nearby towns. Every unsealed road has been closed since Friday.
The Tibooburra has been very, very full. They had about 100 phone calls yesterday to the hotel to see if the roads were open. Yeah, we get an awful lot of phone calls. I think we took about 70 yesterday asking what roads are open so that people who haven't left their destination yet know.
But while the wet weather's prevented people coming into the city, it's also kept some tourists here.
In fact, it's probably increased the length of stay in the town, so we've actually had more people through staying here rather than travelling on. But generally a very positive attitude, particularly tourists. They all think they're drought busters, so they all think they've brought the rain with them, and we always say thank you to them.
The last notable shower was in March this year, but only 22.6 millimetres of rain fell. Last Saturday alone reached almost 24 millimetres, but it's had little effect on water storage, with minor intakes into reservoirs only providing an extra 3 days' supply.
It's moistened the ground nicely, so if we get another downpour, the water will, as much water as possible, will flow into the creek. Disappointing, but not unexpected given the level of rain, and it was constant, but it wasn't heavy. We need a heavy downpour so we can get the creeks flowing.
Most roads have reopened, but it's likely to take at least 12 to 24 hours after the weather dries for all of them to be in action. And that could happen sooner than we think.
The cloud's actually breaking up now, and we've seen the last of the rain, for the moment anyway.
Francesca Belperio, Southern Cross News.
Students return to school in 1 week, but there's still some uncertainty about bus routes in Port Lincoln. 2 of the 3 routes will be reinstated before the start of the school term, but that still leaves 40 children without a bus.
The Transport Department announced yesterday afternoon that the New West, Flinders Highway and Happy Valley Road bus routes will be provided in Term 3.
We've certainly made some good progress over the last days, and I think the concerns of most of the parents have been addressed.
But that still leaves children living in the Marina area without a school bus.
The contentious one, I think, still is the Marina service, or the service which used to go to the Marina and now passes by it, but quite close by, and that's the point, I think, that the service is still there, but it doesn't go into the Marina in the same way as it did before.
Member for Flinders, Liz Penfold, says she's taking the issue up with the Transport Minister.
Now that we're aware that the Marina bus is still not going to be there when school starts again at this stage next term, we certainly have to put some pressure on to make sure that that bus is put back.
And Mr Parker says while it's not an Education Department issue, it does affect children going to school, and it should have been handled a lot better.
To have an announcement of this nature so close to the school holidays is very, very problematic.
Copies of the new routes and timetables are available from the City's council offices. Alexandra Fremantle, Southern Cross News.
Coming up next, a department warning for Broken Hill Council, and in Whyalla, council looks at its infrastructure.
It's local. We now have consulting rooms in Port Pirie, Port Augusta and Whyalla. Make an appointment for your free hearing screening test today and determine your hearing level. You'll be amazed at the latest technology in hearing aids. Experience the difference. Improve your quality of life. No longer will people seem to mumble or speak too softly. You'll hear clearly again. Act now for a free hearing screening test. Hearing Services South Australia, locally servicing the entire Spencer Gulf area. Phone 1800 112 244. On Port Augusta's beautiful upgraded waterfront with a great selection of stores in which to shop. Big W Supermarket, Christine's Hairdressing Salon, Ed Harry, Spend Less Shoes, Carrick Chemist Chem Plus, Gateway Lotto and News Agency, Snoopy's, Woolworths Supermarket, Rockman's, Go-Low Discount Variety Store, Woolworths Petrol Plus and CPS Credit Union. And we have ample off-street parking. So what could stop you from wanting to experience this vibrant new shopping precinct? Wharflands Plaza, Tassie Street, Port Augusta.
Save up to 50% off with Leading Edge Jewellers' Progressive Sale. This once-a-year sale commences 17th of July with 10% discount, increasing each day by 2% until they reach a massive 50% off. That's right, half price from Wednesday 9th to Saturday 12th. Save up to 50% on gold chains, watches, diamonds, gifts and more. Everything in store discounted. Sale starts 17th of July and finishes Saturday 12th of August. Only at Leading Edge Jewellers, Whyalla and Port Lincoln.
You're watching Southern Cross News. Warnings from the local government department are being taken seriously by Broken Hill City Council. In a review into council's operations, the department's demanded councillors' behaviour improves, along with Mayor Ron Page's leadership, or it could face a public inquiry.
While it's a saga most people find too arduous to follow, council infighting is a problem that's captured the attention of those with the power to end it all. A 97-page review by the Department of Local Government scathing of councillors, saying many are preoccupied with infighting and show limited understanding of meeting procedures. And it singles out Mayor Ron Page for losing control of the meeting, recommending he consult other skilled and experienced mayors from Bankstown, Dubbo and Penrith for advice.
I pride myself on letting people have their say, but in the future I need to call people out of order if seatings are not in order. So that will be done more often, and I'd like to thank the councillors
in the last 6-month period, they've done a great job. The meetings have run smoother.
But the department's made it clear this will be the last warning for Broken Hill Council before Director General Gary Payne considers a public inquiry be conducted, something Mayor Page is aware of but remains positive it won't happen.
It does concern me that if they did come to our city with that intent, it would be an embarrassment if that was the case. I should say how many good things the council has done. We are the leaders in New South Wales in regard to looking after the youth of the city, aged care.
Council will hold a special meeting on Thursday to form a response to the review. It's been given 28 days to comply with the issues and 6 months to improve on the 71 recommendations. Mayor Page not fazed by the challenge.
I have spoken to Gary on quite a few occasions and reassured Gary that the councillors are doing a good job. They are looking at the future and things have turned around, so all Gary's wishes have come true.
Francesca Belperio, Southern Cross News.
Whyalla Council's adopted a somewhat constrained infrastructure budget compared to previous years. The budget focuses on finishing existing projects rather than allocating funds for new ones.
The $11 million capital works budget targeting projects in which progress has stalled. Now finally able to get underway, courtesy of the new budget, are much needed upgrades to Hambidge Terrace, the jetty, the Point Lowly area and the Leisure and Recreation Centre.
We've got a lot of projects over the last year or two that haven't moved as fast as we'd like them to. So the focus has been on concentrating on getting all of those projects done in this financial year and maybe adding a few smaller improvement projects to complement those bigger ones.
Another key element's the foreshore. While the master plan continues to stall, Council has plenty of other work it can undertake in preparation for it finally eventuating.
The little improvements we're going to be doing down there over this next 12 months, part of our ongoing maintenance budget, is outside of the master plan to a reasonable degree. But things like tidying up the landscaping, doing up the toilet facilities and the public amenity.
One of the main projects includes the relocation of beach sand in September, but Council will notify the community before any disruptions are likely to occur. Mr Spirett says maintaining infrastructure is a key focus of this year's budget.
We have a community that has a huge infrastructure that we need to maintain. The population over years has diminished, but seems to have stabilised and is picking up again, which is a good sign. But what we're trying to do is to rationalise the infrastructure we've got.
Sean Kelly, Southern Cross News.
Construction's commenced on an upgrade to Port Augusta's Nerilda nursing home worth almost $2 million. 5 additional bed places are set to help the community meet the increasing demand for aged care facilities.
Funding of $620,000 was received from the Commonwealth Department of Health and Ageing. The construction of a new wing to house a total of 13 beds, including 5 new places and 8 beds to be relocated from the existing building. AJ Chapel to complete the project, featuring views of the Spencer Gulf and Flinders Ranges.
The new extension is going to have 5 extra rooms for residents with en-suites, with a large lounge room at the end and with a kitchen facility, and that's all going to overlook the Gulf. So we'll have lovely views from all the bedrooms and it'll be a real asset.
4 existing bed bays to be transformed into 2 bed bays with ensuite bathrooms, helping to meet Commonwealth expectations towards the 2008 certification standards.
We're a 40-bed high care facility at the moment and our waiting list is often fairly long. So it's a real tribute to the town to get the extra 5 beds and we'll be able to serve the community a bit better now.
Laundry facilities to be revamped and the Central Nurses Station remodelled. Work scheduled to minimise disruption to residents who welcome the change.
I have been here a long time. As I said, I'm growing old with the place. Well, I do. I think it's really great. I've got no complaints whatsoever.
Nerilda's upgrade set for completion by March next year. Matt Neagle, Southern Cross News.
After this short break, we'll have police talk from the Port Augusta station.
There are only 2 reasons to ever date a girl you've already dated. Breast implants.
All new How I Met Your Mother, Thursday.
Now today's cash classifieds. Scrapbook supplies, stocktake sale, everything reduced. Alexander Motel Whyalla, Wednesday the 19th of July, 11am to 5pm. One day only. Next visit October. Great school holiday family fun. Perry Miniature Railway, Wednesday the 19th of July. $1 rides, 11:30am to 2:30pm. Tourism and Arts Centre. Evans Hourglass Jewellery progressive sale on now. Daily discount supply. Wednesday, 38% off. 20 Alexander Street, Port Perry, next to dry cleaners. Membership tickets for Whyalla Show close soon. Get yours in Westland Shopping Centre Thursday the 20th of July, 10am until 5pm. Prest's School Holiday Special. Clearance on bike and skateboard accessories, model plane and car parts, trampoline pads and toys. Prest's, Port Perry. Financial Solutions for Seniors. Free morning information session at Perry Red Cross Centre, July 25. Phone 1300 139 822. Details in Recorder, page 3. Lodge your cash classifieds by 11am the working day prior to the telecast date. Cash classifieds are available 7 days a week.
Hey, if it isn't the Colgate 360 toothbrush!
It has an advanced tongue cleaner and tapered bristles, clinically proven to remove more plaque and up to 96% more bacteria for a whole mouth clean.
We're history!
Colgate 360 with tongue cleaner for a superior whole mouth clean.
I realise that how similar we are. In fact, I catch myself saying things exactly like Dad used to say, even the way some of my mannerisms I see. And so it's really evident to me that you become, in many ways, like your father, which makes the role of a father incredibly important. It means that I have to live as a father, knowing that everything I do affects my children.
He's heaps good because, like, when I go through all different problems and things, he's there to help me and stuff. Yes, I do love my dad.
We're the Funkies, Australia's latest kids pop.
Welcome back. Port Perry Regional Art Galleries bounced back following months of uncertainty regarding its future. It's still without a director, but 3-year funding has been secured, and last night an exciting new exhibition was launched. Ask the board's chairperson Jan Parner and she'll tell you the past 2 months haven't been easy.
Not having assured funding and not quite knowing what the future will bring regarding funding has been difficult, but look, I think now that we've got our 3-year funding from Council in place, that has given the board a huge boost.
With funding ticked off, all that remains is finding someone to run the show. The sudden fallout of its latest director, 22-year-old Leo Greenfield, means the board will take a new approach in employing the right person for the job.
Trying to find a director who is highly skilled. We have limited budget to pay a director, and trying to find someone to fit that position is always difficult. So maybe it needs to be looked at differently, and certainly we're looking at many different avenues to fulfil that position.
Mrs. Parner's received several expressions of interest and expects a decision to be made shortly. Meanwhile, the gallery's latest exhibition has got mouths talking. Perceptions of Distance showcases 76 artworks from 28 local artists, including Noel Smith, better known for transforming scrap metal into works of art.
We have work in here from artists that are well known to us and artists that are completely new, and I find that very exciting. And it probably represents the most Indigenous work we've ever had in this gallery at one time, and that is fantastic as well.
Catch a glimpse of electric colours, majestic patterns and fascinating sculptures. Better still, it's an ideal place to take the kids during school holidays. The gallery's open 7 days a week and Perceptions of Distance is on till the end of the month. Whyalla's first corporate golf days proved a success with a large group on hand despite the wet and wintry conditions. The event combined with Action Engineering's trade show to provide valuable exposure for the city.
80 golfers braving the conditions to take part in the city's inaugural corporate golf day. The 2-day event kicking off on Friday with more than 100 people attending the trade show, giving suppliers the chance to meet Action Engineering's local clients. People from as far as Roxby Downs and Adelaide taking part, giving the golf course and Whyalla valuable exposure.
And that followed through the night where we had presentations and a general get-together. So it was a very highly successful weekend. Even more so, it's given the Whyalla Golf Club an opportunity to show off their new greens and fairways. And we think that we'll keep this going for probably up to the next 5 years.
The expo showcasing various suppliers in the engineering field, particularly specialists in pneumatics and hydraulics.
The comments and the feedback from industry was excellent, and a lot of those industry people actually came out and played with the suppliers on the Saturday, so they got a chance to mix together and meet and talk about the products and what they do, and have a good game of golf.
Mr Clothier hoping the event leads to increased exposure for the city in years to come.
It just showcases what Whyalla can offer, certainly to other business houses and to corporate identities to be able to come to Whyalla and even to hold functions at the golf club or to use that as a venue for a meeting. Other industries here. It just was an opportunity that was too good to be missed.
Sean Kelly, Southern Cross News.
National grain pool estimates remain steady. The Australian Wheat Board says it's made no changes over the past fortnight. Prices at the close of business last night on the Port Adelaide market show a decrease for wheat multi-V of more than $4, down to $200.20. Malt barley increased to $176, with feed barley unchanged on $165. Field peas steady at $214.10, with price on application for oats and lupins. We'll have more on the markets next week. And now to police talk. Senior Sergeant Rod Malkin talks on the sporting coaches and child abuse.
There's been some recent legislative changes in regards to mandatory notification of child abuse. In the past, there's been identified people who must notify FAYS, Families SA, formerly known as KIFs, of any child abuse they suspect. Now it's been extended to include a lot more people within the community. It now includes people who manage or coach children in recreation and sporting activities, so the traditional football coach, netball coach who coaches children at some sport, they are now included in this mandatory notification. And there's 4 types of child abuse that the Act talks about. It's physical abuse of a child, emotional abuse, sexual abuse and neglect. So they are the 4 types of abuse that people must notify Families SA if they suspect that a child has been abused. If people act in good faith and they believe that they've got a reasonable suspicion that a child has been abused by any of those 4 abuses, that's either by their own observations, perhaps of injuries or the behaviour of the child, or the child tells them themselves that they've been abused, or they received information from a person who you believe would be reliable in regards to that type of abuse, yes, there's no civil liability, and they don't have to prove the abuse, they only have to report it. They've got a hotline, child abuse hotline, 131 478.
We'll take a break and then be back with all the details from the Weather Bureau.
What does this drug bust in New Zealand have to do with this one in Australia?
Been used as a bloody thing.
Border Security will uncover an international drug syndicate, and you will be there to see them get caught.
It's just an amazing connection.
Australia's #1 show, all new Border Security, tonight 7:30. Then,
the best stories are the ones that happen as you watch.
This little boy will make the Ambo's day.
Medical emergency.
This is good.
What?
This, read it.
50 good reasons to switch your home and contents insurance to Amy. Call 13 22 44 today.
It'll save us some money.
Yeah. Right. But what do you reckon the other 49 reasons are? What? What are you looking at me like that for?
Lucky you're with Amy. Mama.
Showtime is proud to bring you the greatest rock band in the world, Queen. Relive the showmanship of Freddie Mercury and the world's greatest rock band, Queen. Champions of the world.
Coles has 2,000 specials every week, like Pantene shampoo or conditioner 400ml, $5.49 each, save $2.50 each, and Wonder Soft toilet tissue 9-pack, $3.49 each. This week only at Coles.
Barnacle Bill would like to introduce their new range of galley meal deals.
Fantastic combinations of fish, prawns, calamari, chicken tenderloin, spring rolls, chips, drinks and fresh salads.
Fresh from the sea, there's gotta be Barnacle Bill.
Go shopping for furniture at Harding & Manning this month and you have nothing to pay for 500 days. Nothing to pay on lounge suites, dining suites and bedding for 500 days. Nothing to pay. Harding & Manning, your local homemakers furniture store.
Did you know the WDD Office Choice will deliver anywhere in rural South Australia? The choice is simple. WDD Office Choice, Norrie Avenue, Whyalla.
Now to the weather and temperatures today. Broken Hill 11, Clare 10, Port Augusta 15 and Whyalla 13. To the charts, isolated showers and drizzle will persist on southern coast and the eastern Eyre Peninsula tomorrow. On Gulf waters, east to southeast winds 10 to 15 knots, seas are 0.5 to 1 metre. The outlook east to northeast winds 5 to 15 knots. Tomorrow a mainly fine day in most centres. Broken Hill 14, Clare 12, Port Augusta and Port Pirie 16 and Whyalla 15. And for the rest of the week, Broken Hill frosty patches on Thursday and Friday, reaching a high of 14, then 15 for Saturday. Port Augusta can expect a mainly fine week ahead, mostly sunny with temperatures around 17 degrees. Port Lincoln 15 and mostly sunny for Thursday and Friday. In Port Pirie, Thursday mostly sunny and 16, the same for Friday, then mostly sunny and 17 on Saturday. While at 16 and mainly sunny Thursday, Friday down to 15 before a warmer 17 degrees on Saturday. And that brings us to the end of tonight's regional bulletin. Enjoy the rest of your evening on Southern Cross. For now, it's good night.
When you put it all together, the feature-packed Mitsubishi Lancer ES gives you more. With a sporty 115 kilowatt Mybec engine, dual airbags, power windows and cruise control. As well as a bonus 5 years scheduled servicing and 5 years roadside assist. Plus, be reassured by...
A backpacker has a bad reaction to smoking marijuana in medical emergency. A fatal epidemic sweeps through all scenes from 8:30. Then it's Ghost Whisperer tonight on Southern Cross.